continue my drama countdown of my top 5 dramas. I've done 1 and 2 already. No, I've done 4 and 5 already, so now I'm gonna do number 3. So, without wasting any time, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready. Is a recent drama, and it has dongwoo and Kimbum in it. So if you don't already know who I'm referring to, then let me go ahead and let you know. It's the Nine-Tailed Fox. The Nine-Tailed Fox. If you're wondering what I'm looking at, I have notes because I would not been able to remember it, and these are gonna keep me on track. You see, I've been scribbling and stuff because notes. Also, if you're wondering why I'm in this, I like to do cake decorating on the side, and I was piping letters, and if you know that, like, piping, you need to have it be a little stiff, the frosting be a little stiff, but not too stiff, and I had it too stiff, and I pulled a tendon in my hand, well, in my wrist. So now I have to stay like this for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's already been a week, whatever. Anyway, without further ado, let's get back into it. The thing that I have written on my notes is that the drama is about this Gumiho. Gumiho is the Nine-Tailed Fox. It's about this Nine-Tailed Fox who ends up falling in love, like back in this years ago, like hundreds of years ago. He falls in love with this human, and the human is this princess, and she ends up getting possessed by an omggggg. Omggggg is this really evil, demon-y thing. Like, I think it's a lizard or a snake. I don't really know. Because I've never heard of a omggggg before this. So she's possessed by that, but the omggggg wants the Gumiho's body. So he is threatening to kill the princess in order to get the Nine-Tailed Fox to go ahead and give him his body. That didn't work, so then the Nine-Tailed Fox ended up killing his love in the past life. So then he was like, well, I hope that you're reincarnated. So he waits all this time, years, for her to be reincarnated, so he finally finds her. And then they go on this whole journey together, because now, coincidentally, she is also, I have it written down here, so she studies this supernatural stuff, like demons, Gumihos, all sorts of things. She studies it on her own. So then she also has a job that is designed for that. So she ends up, now let me tell you a little bit about how they met. Do you want to know how they met? I'm going to tell you how they met. But she ends up going to this wedding where there is a demon that was there, but she didn't know that it was a demon. So she ends up going there to do some investigation type stuff. I forget what she was investigating, but you just have to watch it to find out. So she goes there, and Yun is there, which is his name. His name is Yun, and he has this umbrella that was his signature. It was that umbrella, which we'll get into that more. But he ends up killing the bride, and she goes on a search for him, because now later in the drama she finds that they must be connected in some way. Anyway, fast forward, they end up falling in love, of course, while they're going on this journey together, of course. But now the journey is no longer trying to figure out who each other are. It's the journey of trying to figure out how we can get this omggggg separated from her body and kill this omggggg so that it no longer destroys his relationships. But this drama was a tear jerker. It was a tearjerker. It was a tearjerker, but it was also funny and romantic and sad, and just, it was all around a well-rounded drama. I recommend it. Now, I said I want to get into my favorite parts of this drama, because there were a few parts, and this is just me being me, there were a few parts that I was like, yes, I like that. So the first time, was Ian. His eye twitches. Like, what I mean by eye twitches is those. Girl. Those eye twitches, though. So, like, there's a part, and I will insert a clip so that you can see it, but there's a part where they are in this forest. Oh, I didn't mention. Ian has a brother. I call him Long because I know that that's kind of what his name was, but that was Kimbum's character. He has a brother. They don't get along because of past history. Want to know? Find out. Watch it. But they don't get along, so they were in this forest. Ian's brother is trying to harm. I don't really think that he was ever trying to harm the girl, Thea, but I think he wanted to give it off like he was going to, and if he did in the long run, then he was just like, well, I don't care. But they're in the forest. They're fighting.
캐치볼 같은 걸 하기엔 너무 늙지 않았나?
그러기엔 우리 사이 너무 막장이지. 난 데드볼이었는데.
사진.
Takes a rock and he crushes it with his hand, and then he just throws all the little rock shards at Gia, and Ian came in with his coat and was like shoo, and swooped it over her, and she's like on the ground like, oh my god, blah, blah, blah. And she's all like, huh. But then she looks up and they make eye contact, and he goes, and then gets up and starts fighting again. And I was like, excuse me, sir, how are you gonna just come in and make our heart stop and then keep it pushing? Like, where they do that at? Apparently here, because that's what he did. So yeah, that was, I think, my #1 favorite part, because I live for things like that. Now, there was a moment that pulled my heartstrings, though, and this made one of my favorite parts because of the simple fact that it shows so much character growth. There was so much character growth. Oh, I loved it. It was so sweet, and just, it was genuine. That's what I think I like. I think it was genuine. Anyway, so the part that I liked was with, in the drama, Ian, in order to save Gia, has to basically sacrifice himself, so he dies. And spoiler alert, obviously, but he dies, and so they have to live a few months without each other and all that stuff. So they're trying to figure out how to get Ian back. So doing research and figuring things out. Now, Iran finally figured it out, so Iran sacrificed himself in order to bring Ian back, and I thought that was so beautiful. I cried, but like, it was so sweet. It was so sweet. So like, Iran calls. He has his assistant, I don't remember her name, I'll call her Wolf Girl, but he calls Wolf Girl and was like, hey, I want you to come here because this is what I'm about to do, so I won't be able to see you again, but I'd like to see you one last time. She dips off running, boom, running, and as soon as they laid eyes on each other, he disappears, he dies. Oh my gosh, I cried so much from his death when he was a jerk in the beginning, but this proves character growth, and I lived. I was like, like, girl, I was ugly crying. Girl, I was ugly crying. It was not cute. It was not cute. But needless to say, that was the character growth. It was beautiful. he was beautiful, and it was just so sweet. It was so sweet, and it just that was my moment. Those were my two of my favorite moments. I'm not gonna go through all of them because there's a list, but those are two of my favorite moments. Now, let's get into this ending. This ending ticked me off. Okay, and let me tell you why it ticked me off. Okay, so like Ian was ended up brought back, of course. That was predictable. But he was ended up getting brought back. Then now it was up to him and Jia to find each other. Well, they find each other. Ian says that he's no longer a gumiho and that he has no more powers. He's a human now, so he has to live as a humans are. Cool. That's great. So they're going off trying to figure out their life together, and they're trying to like figure out how they're gonna do all this stuff. Well, months pass of him being a human, and it's like late at night. He goes and he's getting ready and everything, and he walks out to the front door, grabs that umbrella, that signature umbrella I said earlier. He grabs that signature umbrella off the wall and walks out, and then he looks at this one being that I guess was an evil being or something like that. And he goes, "Hey, are you blah blah blah?" And I was just like, and he takes that umbrella and whips it. What did that thing light up?
어이. 네 놈이 삼재냐?
I said, I know you're lying. I was like, well, why did it light up? Because he is a human. So, and then the drama ends. I was irritated. I'm still irritated. That ending ticked me off, because how are you going to end something on such a cliffhanger? I hate that. That's my one thing about Korean dramas that I don't like, is that they can end things off on a cliffhanger, leaving people wondering what's going to happen now and then never make a second part. Like, if you're going to leave people wondering on what's going to happen, then you need to have intent on making a second part. That's my only thing I hate about Korean dramas. It's the only thing. Other than that, this was all around a good drama. I loved it. It was a beautiful drama, and I loved all of it. I think it was nicely done. I think the characters the actors that they chose to play these characters were a great cast. I think it was awesome. So yeah, and if you like that, then make sure that you follow me. You need to like it, you need to comment, and then you need to subscribe. 3 things: like, comment, share, subscribe. 4 things: like, comment, share, subscribe. And then we can talk about it. And if you watched it, leave comments below and tell me what you thought about it, and let me know what you thought about the ending, because it ticked me off. Girl, I was mad. I'm still mad. So yeah, I hope you liked it. I'm gonna go and record the other 2 right now. That way I can get them up to you promptly. Yes. Anyway, like I said, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment down below telling me what you thought about it. And then I will see you on my next one. Annyeong.